Brad Pittman, media coordinator Mike Ross, and the entire Wichita State University staff, welcome to the Intrust Bank Arena and the first and second rounds of the 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Today's pre-game day interviews will feature all 8 schools assigned to this venue. A few housekeeping details are in order to keep the proceedings moving in a professional manner. Number 1, obviously, please silence your cell phones if you have not done so already. Thank you. Number 2, each time we introduce a new dais, please identify yourself and your affiliation the first time you ask a question to the head coach or the student athletes. Please wait until one of our 2 mic holders is with you. Gina is on my right, Dawn's on my left. So everyone can hear your question. To get into the rotations, get their attention or mine. If you have a follow-up question, remind the mic holder so she stays with you. There is no flash photography allowed, nor recording of any kind, including cell phone and tablet use. Today's sessions are 15 minutes long for each group of student athletes and each head coach. There will be a 15-minute break between each school. All press conferences are transcribed by ASAP Sports. First up at 10:20 will be the student athletes of SIU-Edwardsville. The Southern Illinois University-Edwardsville Cougars are with us. They are the number 16 seed in the Midwest region. They are the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament champions. They will play number 1 Houston tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The head coach who will follow these gentlemen is Brian Baroni. The men's basketball contact is Joe Pott. And we will go directly to questions. Start right here in the front row. Thank you.
Hi, y'all. Eli Hoff with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Congrats on being here. Just want to ask, with this matchup, for all 3 of you, what needs to happen for you guys to be able to pull one off against Houston?
Let's start with Desmond, then we'll go to Rayshawn, and then Brian.
Houston is a very physical team, so we have to match that physicality and, be ready from the jump.
They're one of the best in the country at rebounding, so we got to get physical on the glass, come down with some crucial 50-50s, and we'll be able to win.
And I would say just simply staying together, just kind of doing the things that we've been doing all year, just sticking to our roots and sticking to the game plan.
Harry on the side.
Hi, Harry Schrader, Valley Hoops Insider. Ray, in this portal era, what made you stick around so long at SIUE? What was so special for you to stick around?
Just my coach always believed in me, even when I was at some of my lowest points with the stuff I've been through. But I just felt like I had to repay him in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? He was loyal to me, so why not be loyal to him?
Inside aisle, thank you.
Joseph Duarte, Houston Chronicle, either for Rayshawn or Desmond. For people nationally that will be seeing you guys for the first time or getting to know you, how would you describe your program and the style that you guys play?
Desmond, lead us off, please.
For one, us as a program, we're just one family. You know, we stick together. That's one of the biggest things, and you know, that's one of our mottos was put family into basketball. So we live by that and we stick by that. And then our pace is, you know, we like to get up and down the court, you know, and really defend. We pride ourselves on our defense.
Like you said, we real family oriented. That's something Coach Baroni always wanted to make his program about, and something we did a good job of making sure we do. And then, like you said, we get up and down. We a scrappy team. We defend, and we just got a lot of versatility. So we can play a lot of different defenses and things like that.
Back to the front row, right here, Gina.
For all three of you, again, just have you guys looked at all at some of the 16 seeds who have beat 1 seeds in past years? Is that something that Coach Baroni has showed you guys have looked at all in preparation?
Brian, we're going to start with you this time, and we'll come this way.
The only thing I've seen about like historical 16 seeds is probably like the percentage of like it occurring, and honestly, like that's something that you just kind of got to put far out your mind. Like that's nothing that I'm banking on of my team being out there and performing. Like I'm rolling with these guys and what we plan on going out there to do for ourselves. So.
Yeah, personally, we have seen the 16 seeds as one, whatever like that. But I think it hit close to home because Fairleigh Dickinson, I think they beat Purdue a few years ago, and we actually played them that season and won that game. So it's something we definitely looked at. Something Coach Baroni has talked to their staff about, and so we'll be prepared.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off of that, we definitely watched a little bit of the Fairleigh Dickinson Purdue game. But, you know, at the end of the day, we still have to prepare for ourselves and be ready for what we have to do.
Wichita, one of the closest locations you guys probably could have drawn in terms of being close to Edwardsville. Just what kind of support are you hoping to have this weekend?
Questions for everybody. Desmond, start us off.
Well, for one, it's big for us because, you know, our fan base definitely could travel to it, but it's definitely huge for the team because, you know, we got Ring Maleeth and Miles Thompson who are from this area and won a national championship here. So it's very big. So we know we'll get a lot of support from their home base.
Yeah, it was important. I think most of our families were going to travel even regardless where we played at, but, you know, making it easier for them and then for our school, they could just travel too. We got a lot of people that came with us, so.
Yeah, our fan base being a lot of families in our community, it was very important for us to be this close. Just a benefit, just being this close, and families and stuff, just being able to come.
Back to Harry.
Yeah, Brian and Ray, you guys being cousins, you ever think as little kids someday we're going to play in the big tournament together? I mean, talk about that opportunity for the two of you.
Brian, you first, please.
You never really thought that you'd kind of be in a position like this, sitting right here with somebody like this, my cousin, you know? So it's definitely a blessing. I'm grateful. It's an opportunity, and I'm just glad to be here.
So weird backstory. We went to a SIU camp together when we were little kids, but I wouldn't say we knew we was gonna be playing together one day. I mean, when the opportunity presented itself, we both good players.
What they call you, Prime D Rose, D Wade. Yeah, we was going crazy that tournament.
But I mean, yeah, like you said, it's a blessing for sure, though. And then our family's there to support us every game, so we're gonna have a blast with it for sure. And we was able to lead us here.
Inside aisle.
Rayshawn, Houston's had a reputation for many years of their style of defense and kind of that bruising style. When you prepare for them or looked at the film, what jumps out at you in terms of how they play that defense?
Mm-hmm. They real physical with their defense. They fly around. They're athletic, so that's a credit to them and definitely the foundation they built over there. But at the end of the day, we got to go out there and execute our side of the game plan against our defense.
think we have a Zoom question, a question on Zoom. Maybe not. Nope. Okay. All right. Anything else for the Cougars of SIU-Edwardsville? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
They'll play Houston at 1 o'clock. Leave those. As advertised, the head coach of the Cougars is here, Brian Baroni. We're going to make him we're going to ask him to make a statement on his team and about being here in Wichita, and then we'll go to questions from the audience. Brian, please.
Yeah, well, glad to be here. Obviously, good to see everyone here, and you know, my team is a special team. I really believe in these guys. We've thought about it all year that we're going to have an opportunity to be in this position. We have a group of guys that really care for one another, a group of guys that have gotten better all year, a group of guys that have kind of you know, transformed our team through different injuries, but sustained a winning culture. And I think we're going to have a group of guys that you're going to enjoy really seeing what we're about. We're versatile and play for one another, and are excited as heck to be here. So this is a blessing. I'm not going to act like this isn't something pretty darn special. So we're happy to be here. There's no doubt about that.
Questions right here. Start.
Joseph Duarte, Houston Chronicle. Brian, when the selection Sunday bracket came out, Kelvin was telling us stories about maybe some of the history that you have, your family with Kellen, him with your dad. Can you kind of take us through a little bit of what some of those early memories of being around Texas A&M and sort of crossing paths with the Sampson family when they were at Oklahoma?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, College Station is home to me. You know, I have a few homes because my dad bounced around, and but that was you know, high school and a few years at A&M. Our first Big 12 game, I'm almost positive, was against Oklahoma. So we had that dang Boomer Sooner in the background over and over and over. I remember my dad playing that. Wish he could have had some, like, you know, 5 guys guarding me, because that was a little bit more realistic when I got into the game. But it was against Coach Sampson. On a personal level, it's kind of cool to coach against somebody, be on the same sideline that my dad coached against. I think that's something that puts in perspective how special Coach Sampson is in the longevity and his success in this business. There's no doubt about it. Actually, when I was leaving A&M, I almost went to Oklahoma as well and to play for Coach. The timing didn't work out. I got to know, and he's always been great to me. When I was up at Green Bay, he was at Milwaukee. We spent time talking about it, you know, the bubble rebounding and all the stuff you hear about. And Kellen and I have gotten closer over these last few years as well. And I just really respect their family so much. They've helped a lot. We've talked a lot about culture, a lot about program, a lot about defense in the off season. And it's just kind of ironic how now we're here going against one another. But it's a family that has been very kind to me over the years. Always takes time to acknowledge me when I know Coach has a lot of people he can acknowledge, and I respect the heck out of the Sampson family.
Left side.
Brandon Zenner, KWCH 12 here in Wichita. You have a lot of Kansas connections on your team. I guess just can you speak individually on Miles and Ring, bringing them to the program? What impressed you? Just about their championship pedigree at Barton last year. I guess could you just start with each of those two players? Absolutely.
No, those two are special guys. I think one of the things about what we did this offseason is we wanted to make sure that we put the right pieces together to become a championship team. That's your goal. That's what you want to do. So why don't you go steal from some championship teams? I mean, it's kind of the easiest way to do it. So we did a good job in Ryan Hellenthal kind of identified them early in the recruiting process. We stayed on them throughout the year. I was fortunate enough to watch them at this time last year. And those two guys, they complement each other so well. They complement our team so well. They're high character. They bring so much more than they're good basketball players. I mean, tough as nails, versatile, unique, all the stuff you want to say as a basketball. They help you win basketball games because of their ability. They help you win championships because of the kind of people they are. And there's no doubt about that with Miles and Ray.
We have a follow-up question here, and then 2 or 3 questions on the right. Go, please.
Then as well with Jay Bradley, another guy who's here from Wichita. What has he meant to your staff? What impressed you just about his pedigree and wanting to bring him here onto the Cougars?
Yeah, I've gotten to know Jay over the last several years through the recruiting process. He actually worked with one of my assistants years prior. Jay has a great pace about himself. He's just as a person, again, I think that's another thing when you talk about when you're becoming a championship team, you're upgrading not upgrading, but you're enhancing a certain level of person. And I think that Jay did that as well. He's a very good basketball coach. And as he continues to get, be at this level, he's going to continue to impact us in a positive way. So it's fun to have him around, too. You're welcome.
Over on the right side, Brian.
Hi, Brian. Jason Bristol from KHOU in Houston. I know you have Joe from Houston on your team.
Yeah.
With his injury, how did that affect your rotations, and how have you seen him progress, and what has been his mindset through his recovery?
Yeah, Joe was someone that we were counting on heavy minutes. He's versatile. He was 20 and 11 at his school. He's always a 20-game winner in his career. High-level person, high character person. It was devastating for him and us when he went down against Illinois, because you could see his impact. He went into 2 high major games and impacted those games. But the thing that Joe hasn't done, he got down a little bit at one point. He was a little frustrated. But as he went through the process of understanding, hey, we can really be part. Like we have we have a team shirt that's one of Joe's quotes. You know, it's the game is for the dogs and the dogs is for the game. I don't know. It's just kind of something that he said one day and it stuck. So he's a huge part of this run for us, and he's really embraced trying to engage and soak in everything for when it's his time next year. Now, and he looks great. I was about to try putting him in the other day just because I was trying to see if we can finagle another NCAA rule. If you can play someone 28 minutes one game and still get a year back. Maybe you could. But he's working his tail off, and he's doing a heck of a job. He's a really good person as well.
I also noticed your shirt. Is that the shirt you're speaking of? A lot of writing on there. I was curious about the significance of that one.
This shirt, no, that's not that shirt. Yeah, this shirt is our shooting shirt that we've done all year. We've done it for the last 6 years. Shortened version of a long story, and I'll be a puddle up here crying if I really get too deep into it, is this represents everyone in our program. So every player, from our academic advisor, training staff, just everyone that's kind of in our travel party, we talk about, we always want to put family into basketball. Don't take family away from basketball. And it was something that one of my dad's players said. My mom and dad did a really good job over his years at Creighton. I wore a shirt at a game 6 years ago at the Northwestern game. It was one of my dad's shirt to have him there by my side because he wasn't able to make it to that game that year, the year that I got the job. This shirt represents, it's their handwriting of everyone who got them to this point, every person who sacrificed for somebody on our team to have an opportunity to do what we love to do. Like my wife and kids, my brother, sister, mom, and dad are on this shirt. We get to know who's on this shirt from the team. We put it on the front of the shirt because we want to be in the huddle, and we want all those people who are with us this whole path, this whole journey, to be in there in those late game situations. That's kind of my aggressive coach version of it. The real version of it, we'd be up here in a while and we need some Kleenexes. But it's a powerful shirt for us, and it means a lot to us.
Harry, thank you.
Brian, congratulations on being here. Talk about your mindset, the whole find a way mindset that you have, brought with you these last 6 years and the journey to this spot.
Yeah, it was on the back of our shorts at Texas A&M, years and years ago. And it's something you hear a lot of different things over the years. You have different speakers. I've been very fortunate to be around people that give you quotes, and unfortunately, sometimes you kind of get numb to them. Put family into basketball was one that stuck. Find a way has been something that has always been in my head. I think find a way goes far beyond basketball. You're self-reliant, self-aware. Get the job done. Don't make any excuses. We had we call FAW-FAM, find a way family. We added the family part because, at the end of the day, sometimes it is a little overwhelming to just try getting the job done by yourself. Sometimes you can't do it. Sometimes it's okay to make sure that you rely on this shirt, this family, to get through whatever you need to get through. So that find a way mentality is just making no excuses, grinding it, going hard at what you got to go, be aggressive at, getting you off the couch some days when you don't want to be off the couch. All right, getting whatever it is. And I think it's been something that we've said every year. We don't have a lot of 1, 2, 3 breaks other than 1, 2, 3 find a way. Every once in a while someone will throw something in there, but that's been our mentality. And, we had the goal to say found a way one day. And obviously after the OVC championship, we had the ability to do that. But ever since then, we've been right back to find a way because we have another task at hand. But it's a mentality that it goes way beyond basketball for me personally, for sure.
We have 5 minutes left in this session. We have 3 questions up. Go, please.
Hey, Brian Mohider from KTRK out in Houston. With your relationship with the Sampson family, you get busy throughout the season, but have you kept an eye on the program? And secondly, as you go into this matchup, what really stands out about Houston?
Yeah, 100%. Like you watch them because I respect like how they play, and I respect how coach coaches, and you identify a few teams that you have relationships with people. What stands out for them is they have an identity. The coach has an identity. They do what they do, and they do it well. Anytime you can have an identity as a program, I think that that's where success happens. Obviously, they have really good players, right? They can score. They can be very physical. But I think what they do is they all are stars in their role, in my opinion, from my perspective. The guys that need to be their scorers, score. The guys that need to rebound, rebound. The guys that need to, be the glue guys, that's what they do. And I'm sure they can all do a little bit more in their own mind. But that's what makes them really, really well coached, have an identity, and really good, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Brian, if I could go back to the family aspect of things, if I'm not mistaken, your dad made the NCAA tournament at Creighton.
Yeah.
And with you making your first tournament appearance, what kind of advice do you think he would give you? Or is there a saying that maybe you remember as a player that maybe would apply for your first tournament?
Yeah, saying to me, I can't say it right here. I'm sure he'd say some things that it would get me in trouble. I think what he would say is, go be yourself. Don't lose what got you here. I really do think that. And he'd say you better box out and you better defend. He would 100% be saying that, but you got to stay true to who you are. I really do think he would say that. Know your role, embrace your role, and being a star in your role is something that he would really have a focus on for our team.
Right, front row.
Eli Hoff from the St. Louis Post-Batch. Coach, your players were talking about looking back at Fairleigh Dickinson a couple years ago. You guys haven't played them and what they were able to do against Purdue. Can you talk about just that team, that game, and what you've kind of showed this team with past 16 seeds that have got this done?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you want to do is you sit there, and we have a group of guys that believe that, we can win a game. Anytime we play a game. We're going into tomorrow to win the game. That's not cocky or arrogant, but that's why we got here, because we go into every game to win the game. And, there's things where you want to say, hey, like, a few years ago we beat Fairleigh Dickinson, and they make their run, and they were one of those teams. And, if you want to draw on anything that can help motivate, inspire your team to have success. So we've talked about that. We've shown that, not a ton, but like we have it on. We have a screen and that we have like kind of a motivational screen, and we just had some of those games playing, and one of which was like us playing them and beating them. I don't know if that's overly needed for this team because we believe what we can do, but it wasn't like it was going to hurt. And you do have to reference, past history to kind of have that level of understanding that it can be done. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Got time for one more. Harry, go ahead.
Yeah, Brian and Ray said that they had come to an SIU camp as kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you remember them way back then, and could you envision where it's all come to today?
I got to get my camp dates out. First of all, if those two players are going to show up in 15 years, that would be really big for me. I wasn't here when those two were the little guys in there. His dad actually, before our last game in the conference tournament, I had a lot of people on this shirt send a video message to their sons, their brother, whoever was in there. Our families were in it too, which was really special. Just saying good luck for the conference tournament. And Brian's dad had this old camp ball that was the old logo SIUE, and it was all beat up. And he said, 12 years ago, we've had this ball for 12 years. Go get him, son. And it was really cool because he didn't start here, all right? And, and his path came back here. And he had that ball from that camp to go do something special in that video message. And, a few hours later, we did. So it was a lot of dots were connecting that day. It was pretty neat.
Brian, best of luck tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it.